He leaned back in his chair, smirked, and told me my wife would accompany his son. Business, he called it.
I've endured a lot in my 12 years at Hawthorne Industries. Long meetings, impossible deadlines, and a boss who believed pressure created diamonds. But nothing, absolutely nothing, prepared me for the sentence that shattered the last pieces of respect I had for him. Richard leaned back in his leather chair, tapping his pen as if signing my dignity away. "Daniel," he said casually, "your wife will go with my son to the retreat next week." He's very interested. For a moment, I thought I misheard him. My heart stalled, my jaw tightened. "Sorry," I said carefully. "What did you just say?" He smiled, that arrogant smirk he wore when he believed he controlled the room. "My son needs a companion for the executive retreat. Your wife will fill that role. It's business. Nothing more. Business." The word made my stomach twist. My wife, Claire, was standing not 10 feet away, chatting with a co-worker, unaware that Richard had just treated her like a bonus item on a corporate budget sheet. Claire, the woman who supported me through unemployment, celebrated my victories, cried with me through losses. My partner, my equal. And this man thought she was some kind of corporate offering. I forced myself to breathe slowly. "Richard," I said, steady but cold, "my wife is not part of your business. She's a human being, my partner. She makes her own decisions." He waved a dismissive hand. "You're too tense. It's a simple request, a favor for the company, a show of loyalty. Loyalty. Funny how the people who demand loyalty offer none in return." I held his gaze, letting the weight of my words land. "No," I said. "Absolutely not." There was a flicker, just a split-second crack in his smirk, but enough to tell me he wasn't used to being challenged. "You sure you want to take this tone, Daniel?" he asked softly. "We both know your career depends on my goodwill." I stepped closer, lowering my voice so only he could hear. "And my marriage depends on my integrity. I'm not negotiating my wife like she's a company asset." His expression darkened. For the rest of the day, he avoided my eyes, but the tension thickened in the hallways. I knew he wasn't done. Men like Richard never stop when they feel undermined. But that night, as I watched Claire cook dinner, humming softly, completely unaware of the storm her name had been dragged into, I made myself a promise. Richard Hawthorne will never again dictate anything in my life. The next morning, after a long night of replaying Richard's words, I knew I couldn't hide this from Claire. She deserved honesty and protection. "Claire, we need to talk," I said, calling her into the living room before breakfast. She looked confused, concern flickering in her soft green eyes. "What happened?" I took a breath. "Yesterday, Richard asked me for something outrageous. Then I told her every word, every insult, every twisted implication." Her expression shifted from confusion to shock to pure disgust. "He said what?" she whispered. "Yes," I said quietly. "He wanted you to go with his son, like some sort of corporate offering." Claire took a shaky breath, covering her mouth. "That's insane. He can't." "Daniel, why would he even—" "Because he thinks he can push anyone, but not us." I shut it down immediately. She stepped closer, touching my cheek. "Thank you. I don't even know what to say. I'm glad you told me." I held her hands. "No one makes decisions for you, ever." The relief in her eyes reminded me exactly why I had fought so hard to protect this marriage. That week, something changed at work. Richard became quieter, more calculating, less confrontational. A storm gathering strength. Then, 3 days later, an email arrived, a company-wide announcement about the executive retreat. Buried in the details was a line: "A designated guest will accompany Matthew Hawthorne." I felt my jaw lock. This wasn't subtle. This was provocation. I forwarded it immediately to Mark, my legal advisor. His reply came fast. "He's baiting you. Don't engage emotionally. Document everything." And under no circumstances should Claire attend anything related to that family. Relief washed over me. I wasn't fighting alone. The next day, Richard cornered me near the elevators. "You'll reconsider," he said calmly. "Everyone participates in company traditions." I met his stare evenly. "I told you once. I won't tell you again. My wife is not part of your plans." His jaw twitched, a tell I had learned over years of working under him. "This insubordination won't end well." "Neither will your obsession with my marriage," I said. I walked away before he could respond. And that was when I realized something. Some enemies don't scream, they calculate, and Richard was calculating. The day of the retreat arrived. Richard's son, Matthew, waited at the lobby entrance in a tailored suit, checking his watch impatiently. He looked around, clearly expecting Claire to appear. She never would. I walked straight up to him. "Matthew," I said calmly, "Claire won't be joining you." His eyebrows shot up. "My father said—" "I don't care what your father said." Richard rushed over, red-faced, ready to perform outrage. "Daniel," he snapped, "you're embarrassing my son." "No," I said loudly enough for nearby employees to hear. "I'm protecting my wife." The room fell silent. All eyes turned. I stepped forward, letting years of swallowed frustration finally burn through my words. "You tried to use your position to control my personal life. You tried to involve my wife in whatever power games you play. And you thought I'd fold under pressure, just like the others." Richard opened his mouth, but I continued. "I've already spoken to HR, to legal, and to external counsel. Your behavior is documented. Any further harassment toward me or my wife will have consequences you want to be able to negotiate your way out of." His face drained of color. See, Richard could bully employees. He could intimidate managers. But he couldn't fight documented misconduct, especially not with a board already questioning his leadership style. Matthew quietly stepped back. The retreat bus left without them. By Monday, HR had launched a formal investigation. By Wednesday, Richard requested a temporary leave. By Friday, employees whispered rumors about forced retirement. I didn't celebrate. I didn't gloat. But I did go home that Friday evening, open the door, and find Claire waiting with dinner and a soft smile. "You handled it?" she asked. "Yes," I said, kissing her forehead. "And he won't bother us again." She wrapped her arms around me, and I finally breathed deeply, freely, completely. Because the truth hit me. Some battles are won not by shouting, but by refusing to bend. By choosing love over fear and dignity over compliance. And that day, for the first time in my entire career, I felt truly unshakable.